Hey everybody, it's Operation. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Persona 3 FES. And like I said last time, we are indeed going to be fighting a boss this time around. But first things first, we need a fusion. So here's what I recommend for the next boss. It's known as Lamia. It's a pretty good persona, honestly, for this next boss, because this next boss is weak to fire and uses ice attacks. Now, this persona has a fire attack and is resistant against ice attacks. Not to mention the boss after this guy also uses ice attacks. So it's a pretty useful persona for the next couple boss fights. So yeah, I recommend you fuse him. And to fuse him, we're not going to give up much. We're going to be fusing Naga, Principality, and Narcissus. All of these are personas I found, just going through Tartarus. So these personas I'm fusing right here, I didn't fuse them, I just found them going through Tartarus. So again, giving up basically nothing to get a really good persona in return. And because we maxed the Hermit social link, it's gonna gain a ton of levels and get even better. So yeah, let's do this. It'll also, because it's going to level up, it'll also gain several dark type attacks, which are very useful. Because, as far as I found, there's not that many personas that use dark attacks in this game. Like, it's a lot easier to find Mahama and stuff, which are light attacks. Like, those are pretty common, but as far as dark attacks, they're rarer, I'd say. So, yeah, she's going to gain a lot of levels. And we got Mamuto, which is a pretty good dark attack. It attacks everyone, I think. Don't quote me on that just yet, but that's how I remember it. I'm somewhat bad with the dark ones, the dark attacks, because I don't use them that much. Like in either Persona game, I don't find them that useful. I guess I could get this, but this stresses one. I've never found these that useful. Darkness, chance of insta kill, all foes. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I guess I'll get rid of Bewilder. I guess. Sure. I don't find it that useful, honestly. Because when you use those, like charm and stuff attacks, not only does there a good chance they'll miss on regular enemies, like really high chance. I think if you, like, even if you have the boost, I think you could get your odds up to like 33%, 34%, somewhere in that area. But against bosses, it never hits. It's guaranteed. They have it programmed, so you can't hit them with them at all. So, yeah, really useless. Okay, sorry for the random cut there, guys. My capture card actually died in the middle of the battle, and I actually ended up winning it relatively easily. And, yeah, so I had to scrap that. And, then I fought him again, and I died. Like, really badly, got murdered. But yeah, let's hope it goes like the first time.
This one's dangerous. Stay focused.
But yeah, this guy is the magical Magus. He's somewhat annoying. He resists slash, resists strike, resists pierce, weak to fire, absorbs ice, blocks slight, blocks dark. He has the moves: Bufudine, Mabuf, Mind Charge, Ice Break, Makakarin. Makakarin's a new skill we haven't encountered until this point, as far as I remember anyway. Basically, it repels one fire, ice, electric, wind, light, or dark attack. And it goes, if one of them uses it, it goes to all of them. So yeah, you don't want them to use that. As far as tactics, you're going to want to put Aegis on Argia mode, so she takes less damage and does more damage. Usually for boss fights, unless it's going to be a really long fight, you're going to want to end it as quickly as possible, so I recommend usually putting her in Orgia mode for boss fights. Junpei needs to go on knockdown, so he can use his fire attacks to knock them down and not be an idiot. And Yukari needs to be on heal and support. We actually got a really favorable layout here. So I'm gonna be somewhat cheap here. First things first, actually, let's go ahead and put on our new persona. But yeah, I'm gonna be somewhat cheap. So if you don't like it, I understand. But yeah, I'm gonna be somewhat cheap here. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But yeah, you could be on bosses that have weaknesses. You could be kind of cheap and break the system a bit. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do that just to be on the safe side a bit here. Because until I take out one or two of them, I'd like to limit their attacks. Ah, crap. Actually, that ended up screwing me over, so I'm not gonna get to be cheap. Because Junpei didn't know to use his fire attacks because Fuka hadn't scanned yet. So yeah, assuming everybody survives, then you'll see what I mean. But yeah, kind of got screwed over a bit there. Sadly, again, can't control your allies until Persona 3 Portable.
It must be eliminated.
Okay, that actually worked out nice. That did not. That attack sucks. That's basically what you don't want them to do. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna see if I have a okay Miragi Gen. Cool. Because I block fire, so I take no damage, and I get rid of that attack or that shield blocking them. So that's good. What I'm gonna do now, I'm actually not gonna all-out attack. I'm going to let them stay down so they don't attack me. So yeah, let's relent, and Junpei gets a nice little heal there, so you know.
Careful, the enemy's going to attack. I can do it.
Kari gets a nice heal too. Sadly, I think Agus is gonna screw it all up. Yep. When she's in I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet, but when she's in Orgia mode, okay, I really gotta finish this fight fast. Yeah, if they get that off, I'm dead. When she's in Orgia mode, you can't command her at all. So if she does more damage, she can take more hits, but you can't tell her what to do at all. So basically, you have to hope the AI does what you want, which it rarely does. But yeah, I think it looks like we're gonna be okay. I'll be able to all attack, and I'm guessing this will kill one or two of them, and then Junpei can attack, which we did. It killed two of them, nice. Now Junpei could do this, and just to be certain nothing goes wrong, let's finish this. And that'll do it. That's one of the ways you can defeat this boss. Its damage output somewhat high, but you follow that strategy, you should be okay with the boss. We'll go ahead and grab this precious egg. Very nice. So yeah, as far as actual progressing of the story and whatnot, that's basically going to be the end of the story, or the progression area, really. What I'm going to do basically for the rest of the video is climb up to the next area, because I didn't show off there's new enemies in this, as there is in any every new month and every new section available to you. So I could show those off a bit, and yeah, I have a few things I want to talk about going forward, so I figure this is a good time to do it. And the next boss is really, really, really annoying, so I'm gonna have to grind a lot for that. And if I'm going to do that, I wouldn't be able to get enough recorded to, you know, make this a decent sized video, because it would basically end now. So, but yeah, if you're looking for actual progression, that's about it. I'm basically just gonna talk about like things that are coming in the future for this playthrough and whatnot. So yeah, one of the first things I want to talk about, actually, let me discuss these enemies first. This one's weak to ice. This one we actually saw last area. That one's weak to CO. So
there are 3 enemies left.
one of the things I want to talk about You will gain one more party member in this game. Slight spoilers. I'm not saying who it is, but I'm just letting you know. You will gain another party member later on. I'm not gonna be using them that much. What you see right here is basically gonna be my party the rest of the game. I'm not one of those people that actually switches out their party that much. So yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know that going forward. This is basically my party for the rest of the game. So, you know, Yukari, Junpei, and I guess are basically what I usually go with. Like, if you want, like, sometimes you could switch out, like, Yukari for Mitsuru. I just tend not to because Mitsuru seems to like to spam charm, which really freaking sucks because you want, basically, you'll want her to attack an enemy that's almost dead, and instead of, you know, just doing the simple makes sense thing of killing said enemy with a Bufu attack or whatnot, she'll try to charm it. And I find that really annoying. Like, you could put her on full attack or whatever, so she'll do nothing but attack. But yeah, she'll just charm otherwise. And I don't want to have to go through and put her on full attack the whole time. So, yeah, that's basically one of the main reasons I don't use Mitsuru. She's a slightly better attacker than Yukari, but I find Yukari to be the better healer, so that's why I generally use Yukari. But, another thing I wanted to talk about, I'm slightly behind on, like, where I usually am academics-wise, compared to my normal runs. Like, when I normally play this, given it's Persona 3 Portable, but, I'm usually pretty far ahead in academics, so I don't know, when it comes to maxing Mitsuru's League, I'm kind of worried about that. Not that it's available to us as of yet anyway, but yeah, I'm kind of worried that I might not be able to get to her social link, which really sucks because her social link is one of the best in the game. But most people don't get to see it until New Game Plus. Because, yeah, academics is really hard to max in this game. So, kind of worried about that one. As far as social links in general, though, I think we're doing a decent job. There's a couple I could have done better on by actually, you know, having the right persona and stuff equipped, but, you know, whatever. But, yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and mention that I'm somewhat nervous about that going forward, so hopefully I'll be able to do worse, but I'm not sure, so. Because like I said, I'm not using a guide. Like, you could look it up online and you can find, like, a really good guide that'll basically tell you, you know, do this day, do this that day. But to me, that's not even fun when you get to that point. Because then you're just basically, you're not even playing the game for yourself. You're just having someone else play it for you. So, yeah, that's, I guess if you, since this is supposed to be a walkthrough, I should have done that. But if I did that, then it's really just like saying, you know, just copy this and there you go. And I don't know, I didn't think that'd be as much fun just going off of the set schedule. I figured it'd be, you know, more fun for people to watch if, you know, I actually did what I wanted to do and stuff. Because, like I said, I've played this game several times, so it's not like I'm going to be missing a lot of social links. Because I've gotten almost all the social links in the game already. I might have actually, I haven't thought about it. No, wait, no, there's still a couple more I haven't gotten yet. Now I think about it. But yeah, I've gotten most of them started at least. So, even if I don't max all of them, you'll see a good majority of them in this playthrough. So I can feel fine with that. And it also kind of adds an incentive for people to, yeah, thank you, Fuga. It also adds an incentive for people to, you know, want to go out, buy this game for themselves, and, you know, see how many social links they can max, seeing if they can do a better job than I did, which is probably really easy, by the way. I'm not that great at this. My friends and stuff think I'm, like, epic at this game. No, I have a basic knowledge of this game. Like, there's people that know how to do the fusion system, like, masterfully. Like, they know, oh, I can fuse this, and I can get this skill on him, and I don't know. I haven't bothered to put in that much time for that. I honestly just do, and there's the AI being stupid, by the way. I basically just fuse around until I find something that works. And it's kind of a shame that, like, a lot of people are scared off by the fusion system. It really is not that complicated. Also, that hurt. But yeah, it's weird. A lot of people are scared off by the fusion system in this game. It's not that complicated. You get one persona, you put it with another persona, and it makes something. Either you like what it makes or you don't like what it makes, and you just find whatever works for you. It's really not that complicated a system. Games like earlier games in the series, like Persona 1 and Persona 2, those fusion systems are much more complicated. Like, the fusion systems in those games is basically... also, yay for level up, level 32. But yeah, the fusion system in those games is basically, you have to contact the enemies, like the shadows and stuff in this game. Like, basically, you'd contact them, have to figure out what they like or don't like, and get them to the stat that's called eagerness. And you basically have to max that out, and then they'll give you a certain card, and then you use that card to make new personas. That's way more annoying and hard to do than it is in this game. This is way more user-friendly. But it's like, people seem to understand that more, I guess? I don't really get it. It's one of those things I don't really understand why. But, yeah. I don't get why people find the fusion system that complicated. Again, it's just... You get one persona, you put it with another. If it's what you're looking for, like if you have to fight a boss that is weak to ice, okay, you're going to want to make a persona that has a strong ice attack. Or if you have a boss that, you know, has a strong fire attack, you want to make a persona that is strong against fire attacks. I don't know. I've never gotten why that's so scary or complex to people. Like, at the beginning... I get you could be kind of confused of, like, what to do and what to look out for, but there's not that high a learning curve in games like this, as far as I can tell anyway, you know, by my experience. And also, I equipped the wrong persona, so this is not good. Sadly, there's no blocking in this game, otherwise I would. But yeah, just some various things I don't understand. Kinda wish she would have just attacked, but whatever. I don't know, just some things I don't understand. As far as the length and stuff, I'm actually slightly ahead. Like, when I came into this LP, I thought it was going to be around 120 parts, or somewhere in there. And right now, we're sitting in the high 40s. I think this is going to be episode 47, I think. But yeah, we're actually way out of schedule as far as what I thought we were going to be. So, kind of happy with that. Also, I think I mentioned this before, the higher level... Also, yay, that's level 100. Yay. But yeah, also, like I said before, the higher your level, the longer you can stay in Tartarus without getting tired. So, that's a thing. But yeah, I think this LP's gone pretty decently as far as time. Like, I don't feel that there's been an episode where we just didn't accomplish anything. I feel like I've actually... I'm not trying to pat my own shoulder or anything, believe me, I'm not. But I think for the most part, we've actually done a good job of progressing the story each and every episode. Or, you know, at least doing something important. But I say that as I basically grind or whatnot. Well, I'm not really even grinding. I'm just trying to get to the next area and then I'll end the video. But, yeah, I want to give a decent length video, so I figured I'd throw this in because I'm going to have to grind for a long time. And I'm not going to have enough time to, you know, get to a high enough level and to fight the boss before the next upload date. Like, I'm uploading this today. I mean...
I've acquired a new persona ability.
Okay, go ahead and talk, Fuka.
I can tell if an attack will work on the enemy or not. This ability will only work after you've analyzed an enemy. Be sure you analyze the enemy so the battle would be easier.
Yeah, that's not that much. That's basically your cursor. The cursor over an enemy will change if the attack will work or not. That's basically it. Not that helpful skill. Fuka does get some helpful skills, but that's way later in the game. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, right. When I'm uploading this. I'm basically recording this the day before it's going to be uploaded. So... Doesn't this have Magaru? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's... I'm basically really behind on my recording schedule, which sucks, but... Yeah, I'm recording this the day before it's uploaded, so... That's why I'm kind of on a time constraint, so... Yeah. And I actually have something I have to do later today, which is why I can't record later tonight, so... Yeah, ramblings. But that's why I figured I'd throw this in, because there was several things I want to talk about, and it gives me... Dang it, I was not going for that. I was going for the Persona. But yeah, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. It gives me time to talk about them, and yeah. Yeah, okay. Fuka's not saying anything really useful. I'll say something if she actually does. Also, I found the stairs. I'm gonna have to go for the stairs. But yeah, I'm sure most of you know. There's two versions of well, actually, there's three now, I guess. But as far as on PS2, there's two versions of Persona 3. There's the original Persona 3, which is just known as Persona 3. And then there's the version I have and I'm playing, which is known as Persona 3 FES. I really need to know what these guys are weak to. I guess I'll go with this. But yeah, the difference is, I mentioned it slightly in the first video. There's a few new personas and a new social link in the FES version that aren't there in the original, so. I'm not really gonna go over like all the persona differences because, you know, I really don't have that kind of time. And you could easily look up a guide like that. And I'm not gonna complete the compendium either because that's way too freaking annoying. Like, I've never come close to completing the compendium in any of these games. In Persona 1 or Persona 2, it's actually not that hard to complete the compendium. Because there's not as many personas in those games as there are in here. Like, there's 100 and something in these games, and I'm guessing off the top of my head, in Persona 1 and Persona 2, there's probably like 40. So, yeah. It's not that hard to get all the personas in that game if you really want to. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to, but yeah. It'd be a lot easier to do it in that game. Or those two games, I should say. Oh yeah, another different, I keep going on different tangents. Yes, I know the enemies are getting stronger, thank you, Fuga. But yeah, I keep going on different tangents. Another one of the main differences of Persona 3 FES compared to the original Persona 3 is they added in an epilogue. And I've been going back and forth as to whether or not I'm gonna do the epilogue. Because, I'm not gonna lie, the epilogue's not story-wise. So story-wise, I want to make this clear. Story-wise, the epilogue is amazing. Like, it has a really good story. Like, it has like a million plot twists, and it basically wraps the whole game up really well. As far as gameplay-wise, the epilogue is horrible. Like, it basically, imagine the game as it is right now, with none of the social link. There's no social linking at all in the epilogue. It's basically just the Tartarus element of it. It's just the dungeon part. Which, that in of itself, I wouldn't really mind that much. That itself, I could deal with. Okay, that's fine. I like the dungeon element of it. So that itself wouldn't bother me. What bothers me is, because there's no social links, you can't rank up your personas like that.
It's powerful, but we can attack
so what you basically have to do is just grind them up. Just by battling. And that takes forever. it's by far the most annoying part of this game. That's why I really went back and forth of, you know, am I going to, you know, cover that? I've decided that I'm going to cover it, but what I'm going to do, like, basically, the epilogue is covered in sections. Like, there's various different, and don't worry, I'm not going to spoil any elements of the ending. I'm not spoiling any of the story for you guys here, so this is spoiler-free, 100% spoiler-free. I'm just talking gameplay-wise. That's it. But anyway, basically, the epilogue is separated into different segments. So what I'm basically going to do is, like, I'm going to record it and not commentate or whatever, except for the first part of the epilogue and the last part of the epilogue. Because it'll be easy to do commentary for those parts, because they're like linear, they're like this. So it's easy to record live commentary for that. But for the rest of it, so it doesn't drag out and isn't like, because as far as gameplay wise, the epilogue is like 60-70 hours. So what I'm going to basically do is compress it into like 10 to 15 like 20-minute videos. So like I'll fight all the bosses and do all the cutscenes and all that good stuff. So you'll get all that. But as far as like what I'm doing right now, you know, all the fighting of, let's see, let's split up. But yeah, as far as, wow, that didn't take long. As far as actually what I'm doing right now, like going through, explaining all the fusions I'm doing so you guys can do them too, all that stuff, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to have the boss fights, the cutscenes, and that's it. Because I won't, after I'm done with the journey, which is the main story of this game, like I said, it's going to be like 100-something episodes. I'm not going to want to do another 90-parter right away, because I have plans of doing Persona 4 sometime in the future, and yeah, that's going to be another huge LP, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. For in case anyone was wondering, am I doing the epilogue? I am doing the epilogue, but I'm basically abridging it. So like I said, I'm going to record it, and then I'll edit it so that like all the boss fights are back to back, you know, whatever, and all the story and all that stuff. And then I'll do commentary over that. So it'll be post commentary. I think that's a pretty good compromise, because I like every now and then, like I do one of these per area for this LP. Like, every time we unlock a new area, I show off the enemies, basically, what their weaknesses are, how to beat them, whatever. So, like, if you're playing along, you can do that. But in the epilogue, mostly, it's the same enemies. So, just look it up in here, or look it up online, basically. I don't feel the need to show it again. And same thing with fusions. It's the exact same personas. So, and again, I don't use a guide or anything. I just fuse around. So you could do the same thing, basically. So I don't really feel the need to show it off a second time. Because, again, in this LP, I show off how I fuse every persona. Like, every persona I've fused, I've done on screen. I think these guys are weak to light. I think. I don't even know if I have a light one. Let me see really quick. Do I have... Yes, I do. Okay. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do for the epilogue. I don't see a need to go over the same thing again. So, you'll get every single last bit of the story. So, you don't have to worry about missing out on any story elements. I will cover them fully. I'll try to... In the oh, crap, that's bad. I was going for the XP, and now I got a curse card, which means death is coming for me. So I gotta get off this floor pretty quickly. But yeah, I'll fully cover and explain the story, because honestly, Persona 3 is one of the most complicated stories in the whole series. Well, Persona 1 is probably the most complicated overall. And Persona 2 in its own right is somewhat complicated. Persona 4 is really, really, really straightforward. Like, some people, apparently, Persona 4 confuses them. It doesn't confuse me at all. I don't know why. And I picked the wrong Persona again, didn't I? Yes, I did. Screw it, we're running. But yeah, apparently a lot of people find Persona 4 confusing, which is weird to me because I find it really, really straightforward. Like, in that game, there's a few plot twists towards the end, but it's not really that many. I don't know. I never got why that game confuses people that much. But this game, I do get why. Because in this game, there's a ton of plot twists. There's a ton of exposition and stuff, and it explains a lot of stuff going forward. So, I get why that confuses people, and for the most part, like, in this game, it's mostly later in this game, honestly, that gets somewhat confusing. So, I'll explain that when we get there and stuff, because I know the parts where, when I first played this game, I got confused. So, yeah. I'll go ahead and explain those when we get there, but I'll do the same thing for the answer. Cool, I killed one of them. That's basically all I was going for. Oh cool, he's Luchigaro. Did not know that. So yeah, now you know. So yeah, I'll go over and explain that. Again, you really won't miss out on anything unless you really want to see me fight tons of enemies for like 10 episodes, which I don't think anyone really wants to see. Because again, for the most part, I'm trying to do my best to show off the enemies in this mode. And again, it's the same enemies, so there's no point to show that off. So I'm guessing the epilogue will be like I said, probably 15 or so parts, I'm guessing.
Yes,
I really don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, when we get there, and that's how I'm gonna handle that. So I will in fact do it, and what I think I'm gonna do with that LP is basically because it's gonna take forever to record. Because imagine me playing this mode and cutting it down to 15 parts. It's basically the same amount as far as actual gameplay time. So yeah, that's gonna take a long time. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, so I'm actually gonna start up my next LP while that's going on. Because doing the gameplay and getting everything synced up is the harder part. When you do post commentary, it's a lot easier to sync up because you're just talking over it. And you're actually doing it with the video while it's edited. So that's a lot easier. So once I got it recorded, I could spit those things out like crazy. So it's just gonna take a while to record them. That's the main problem. But yeah, that's how I'm planning on covering that. I figured I'd talk about that in this part because, again, not gonna have enough time to record the next boss fight before the end of tonight, and I still got to edit this video, obviously. So yeah, that's why. That's what I mostly wanted to talk about. We're almost done here. The rest of it I'll do off screen because, you know, don't want to bore you guys too much, but I figured it was a best time I could think of to actually talk about it. So that's how that will be handled, and while I'm recording all that stuff for that LP, I'll have another LP going, and I already know what the next game I'm LPing is, so crud. I think it's this one? Cool. So yeah, I already know what the next game I'm LPing is. I'm not gonna give any real hints. I will say it's not gonna be Persona 4 though. I will do that game in the future, but it's not gonna be next. I'll just say that right now. I'm not gonna give any hints besides that. But yeah, the next game is not gonna be Persona 4. It is not. I want to do a much shorter game next. So I guess that's somewhat of a hint, but not really. It's not Persona 4 is basically all I'm telling you, and that it's not a super long game. If you could guess what the game is from just that, then man, you are really amazing. So yeah, those videos will be going up alongside each other. You know, when I actually get the answer recorded and all that stuff. Because I'm gonna, when I Like, the first episode of that will be easy enough because it's just, you know, starting the game up. I don't have to get anywhere for the first part of that blog, so that's no big deal. But I'm not gonna upload that and then have like 2 weeks of nothing. So basically, I'm gonna start uploading those when I've fully completed it. That way, it's like boom. It's like boom, boom, boom. You get an episode after an episode on a regular basis. Not here's an episode, wait like a week. Here's another episode, wait like a week. So it'll be a while after the ending of the main story of this game. It'll be a while. I have no idea how long, but it will be a good amount of time. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on covering that. I think. I mean, I'm just going off of my thoughts here, but I think it's the best way there is of covering that. Because I went on YouTube and actually looked it up. Not many people even bother with the answer. I mean, I can't really blame them because of how I'm trying to clean this up, but I don't know really how. Let's go with jerkish of how jerkish the gameplay is in the answer. Like, it is extremely hard. The answer is like hard mode of this game, and they didn't include it in Persona 3 Portable for a reason. It is incredibly jerkish, and for the most part, love the story because, like, a lot of really important stuff happens in the story of that blog. So people like it for that reason, but for the gameplay wise, no one really likes the answer. There's like a couple really hardcore. The game should be more like Persona 1, Persona 2. Like those fans, there's a few of those that actually are like hardcore. Yeah, let's dungeon and nothing else and grind all the time. They actually do like that mode, but they're few and far between. It's just not that great a mode. I'm sorry. It's like I can't even. I'm like the biggest Persona fan you'll know. I really don't like the answer. I love the story. I'm stressing that again. I love the story, and you should be sure to tune in just for nothing else to watch the story of it. Like, because I'll explain it. I'll go through and explain every little bit about the story, everything that happens, and to try and keep it on track. So yeah, I'll explain all that. So you can be forward to look forward to that. But yeah, I'm not gonna fight this boss right now. But there's the next boss. It's jerkish. It's one of the hardest bosses in the game, in my opinion. This is why I need to grind. I figured I'd show it off as a bit of foreshadowing there, but yeah. I've basically gone over everything I wanted to discuss, so. Gonna end the episode once I get back and save here. But figured I'd explain that to you, and I'd put this in with the video because, again, you know, wanted to have a good quality content of video and video length, and I wanted to talk about what my plans are for doing that blog. I mean, I know that blog is a long time off, and this LP is probably gonna go for a couple more months, I'm guessing. I don't know. It depends on how far I am able to get, because the Tartarus parts are by far the longest, and you know. But whatever, I'm rambling. But I got over everything I wanted to talk about, so yeah. Next time in Persona 3 FES, we're probably going to go back to the dorm because we're going to get tired, I'm guessing. Because of how much I'm going to have to grind for this next boss. But yeah, we're going to fight the boss in the near future. I'll explain exactly why I hate this boss and think it's one of the hardest bosses in the game then. But until then, thank you guys for watching, listening to this rambling. And see you guys then.